Hello everyone and welcome to Daytona Tamworth. This is from a 40-minute race I participated in earlier in July. Now I'm mainly trying to get some practice here since I plan on doing SuperChamps next season. So we've qualified P1 for this session, and as we wait for the lights to go green, you'll see it actually goes green a lot quicker than I was expecting, so the start wasn't the greatest, but we still managed to hold on to the position as we make a start. Now it's worth noting that this kart had great straight line speed, which definitely helped us on the straight after turn 1. As we make our way into turn 4, you'll see I quickly realize where the limit of the brakes is. Crossing the line starting lap 2, this was actually my fastest lap of the session. And pretty much as soon as we cross the line, we get our first yellow flag of the session, which is the first of many to come. You'll see that there was a kart that had spun at turn 4, and as soon as we get there, it goes green again, and we find ourselves behind traffic. I think about a move on the inside of this kart, but I back out last second, and luckily they overshoot the corner and I'm able to get past anyway. I'm going to skip ahead a bit here to the next yellow flag we get at turn 4 again because 2 karts have gone off the track. A few laps later we come up on some more traffic, and luckily it doesn't cause us any issues. close call on the exit of turn 3 here, as these 3 karts slow down dramatically and I almost find myself in the grass. So we get another yellow flag shown, and these 2 karts pass me. I don't know if they just didn't see the yellow flag. I wasn't too happy about it at the time, but maybe a bit of an overreaction on my part. It wasn't that serious. As we approach turn 11, I feel a bit of a bump from behind, and I think the kart behind me had actually spun themselves. I think they just missed the brakes, so luckily we weren't affected by it. Skipping ahead a bit again, we find ourselves at the end of another yellow flag, and the 2 karts ahead have a bit of a scuffle into turn 11. You'll see the guy in the pink suit actually drift to the right a bit, bumping the kart to the right of him, and then drifts to the left and almost spins me in the process. Later on, we find ourselves in a full course yellow situation as 2 karts had come off the track at turn 6. I'm going to skip ahead a bit here again as the full course yellow lasted for a few laps. A couple of laps later, we find ourselves behind some more traffic, and as we approach turn 11, I take a bit of evasive action as I notice someone try to lunge up the inside of me. Later on, as we're making our way through some more traffic, I am trying to get around this kart in front of me, and then it goes yellow again. And I get passed again on the yellows, which again I'm not happy about at the time, but realizing it's just an open race, it really isn't that big of a deal. Shortly after, it goes green again, and I narrowly missed this cart going into turn 11. A few laps later, I'm actually starting to catch up to one of the drivers who started behind me on the grid. But annoyingly, we do get quite a few yellows over the course of the next lap or so. Now for some reason this one light box before turn 11 seemed to stay yellow for some time despite there not being an incident around this part of the track. As all the lights go green again, my focus is to try and catch up to the drivers that started behind me on the grid. As I exit this corner, the cart in front of me slows down quite a bit, so I don't get a great run out of this turn. Now here you'll see just how much of a straight line advantage I have as I start to close in on the driver ahead. Luckily I'm able to carry my speed into the inside of turn 4 and make my way past. And we get another yellow shown as someone's gone into the apex of turn 11. Later on, we make our way through turn 11 again, and as we exit the turn, I get a bit of a tap on the inside, which I was a bit nervous about at the time, as I thought I was going to be put into the barrier, possibly. get another yellow flag here, which was a bit weird considering there was no incident and it just goes green straight after. Now we are also approaching one of the other drivers who started closely behind me on the grid in Kart 25. Now what I've noticed at this track in particular is keeping the steering smooth at turn 3 really helps you carry the speed into turn 4. And it's another yellow straight into a green flag. Here I make a move on 25 up the inside, and as I do so, 33 up ahead ends up on the grass a bit, which hinders us slightly, but luckily we're able to make our way through anyway. Shortly after, we find ourselves with a yellow flag, then a green flag, then a yellow flag again, and I was just getting confused at this point because there didn't really seem to be any reason why the lights were yellow. Here at turn 4, I do make a bit of a mistake as I almost lose the rear end of the kart. Skipping ahead for the last time, this is the final lap of the race, and you'll see I come up on some final bits of traffic. As we approach the traffic coming towards the end of this race, you'll see me behind Kart 35, who started P2, and I think they were having some engine issues, as you'll see just before we cross the line. Crossing the line in P1 at the end of this race, I was really happy with this kart, and I'm glad that I got a bit more practice in. It's really good, I think, to do these kind of long sessions because you get a lot more time in the same kart and you get just more time to practice around the track without taking as many breaks. Now, as with any rental karting venue, the unfortunate reality is there's always going to be differences between the karts, even if they tell you that there isn't. So I think I got really lucky this time, which may not happen again, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, and I'll see you on the next one.